YouTube. What's good, family? So, bad news, bad news, bad news. I went to test drive Savage last night and try to, put gas in it and everything. Sadly, it didn't work out. So the stock alternator that I had going burned up completely. This Iragi, it'll charge and work, but when it's setting, it drains. So I'm looking at one alternator that don't work at all and one alternator that drains the battery when it's set. So yeah, considering sundown's tomorrow, I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I had a 250 alternator that I had put in the shop to get fixed, but when I talked to him yesterday about it, he said that it wasn't worth fixing. So that was my plan B, but plan B didn't work out because he said it wasn't worth fixing. So it really don't look like Savage is gonna make it to sundown. It is what it is. I tried my best. I tried to work it out, but it ain't looking good. I'm still trying to get an alternator. I ain't gave up yet. Worst case scenario, I'm thinking is maybe if I can get two brand new stock alternators and run both of them with the extra amp hours of lithium that I have, it should at least get me through the day. And maybe I can work that out somehow and be able to at least go. I just won't be able to play full potential like always. So it is what it is. Like I said, I'm trying, you guys. I'm sorry. But I'm going to still keep cranking away on it. On a positive note, since I can't do anything to this right now, I've did what I can with it, and it is what it is at this point. Only thing I can do is wait on some answers back on some of the people that I've hit up trying to get an alternator. Um, Ordering one isn't a possibility because the show is tomorrow, so it wouldn't get here. I just now found out that I wasn't going to be able to have one yesterday at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon because he never got back with me. So I called him and I'm like, "Hey, I'm pretty sure you about to close up." And I asked him about my alternator. He's like, "Oh, that thing's junk. It ain't even worth fixing." And that was the end of that conversation. So waking up fresh today, I've been racking my brain, messaging a whole lot of people trying to find an alternator, and I haven't found anything yet. So um, I don't want to waste a whole lot of money and go buy brand new stock alternators from the parts store because they're like $200. So if I bought two of them, that'd be $400. That's for some stock alternators. They're gonna burn up, and that's a waste of time, and that's money that I could put towards getting a good alternator. So if I can find two used stock alternators that work for a decent price, then I'll get those and just make it work for the day. If I can't, then maybe I'll invest in one brand new one and use it to drive the truck to the show. And then as it's running, I can hook in the Raggy and get it to boost it and help it a little bit to keep it charged. And maybe we can limp through some demos like that. I really don't know. There's not really many options with what I have to work with. But on another note, see, I got a piece of wood here. I'm about to make me a battery delete box. So I'm about to try to get it to fit in here like that. And I got that little tail off because I'm going to try to make a fuse holder out of that little tail over there. So let's stay tuned in. Let's see how this works out. Like I said, I'm going to try to make it a battery delete box and a fuse holder all in one so I can get rid of that one. Because it, it looked like it's done had its day. That's all I can say. So stay tuned in. I'll get back with you and let you know what I come up with for this battery delete box. Let's get it. All right, YouTube. So I got the basic design laid out of what I need for my Faults battery box slash fuse box or slash custom fuse holder, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be basically the layout. Here's my side pieces that I'm going to put going this way and going that way to hold it up. And I got to make one more for this side and one more for that side to block that off. This side I'm going to leave open because it's going to be the fuse holder, of course. So stay tuned in. Let me get this glued up. Got some glue right there. But let me put some glue on this and screw this down and get that other piece in there and then make measurements for that last piece. And get back with y'all after I get it all glued together, let it dry for a little bit, and then I'll sand it and round off all the corners and make it look the best as I can. And then we'll put some paint on it. After we get some paint on it, I'll show you guys the terminals that I have to go on here, because I actually do have terminals to go on here to make it a battery delete box to where you can just hook all the wires that you need to straight to the terminal. So stay tuned in. Let's get it. YouTube, what's good, family? So, in the last little clips, I know you've seen that I finished with the box or the battery delete. So, here's what my finished product looked like, all wired up, sitting in the truck. Got my terminals on, got all my grounds hooked up, got my hot hooked up. There's only one regular hot coming from the truck. Um, of course, you know, I got 4 runs of 00 going back. There's my main bar. Uh, there's where it hooks up on the main bar down there. I got a wing nut on that one to make it easy. But yeah, I just wanted to give y'all a quick update. Um, Everything's wired up. Everything's ready to go. As you see, this plug right here was really messed up on my alternator. So I switched it and put another plug in there. And this plug was missing a wire. So the new plug has the wire in there. I think that wire not being hooked up or not being in there was making my alternator drain. I think it was like telling it to stay on even though the car wasn't running or something like that, because that wire wasn't there. I could be wrong, but as of right now, I changed that plug. I got 2 good plugs on both alternators. This alternator don't work, so it really don't matter. It's burned completely up, so that one don't matter. But this one is charging at the moment, and so far I've had it hooked up with that new plug, and the battery seems to be staying at the same level. It don't look like it's draining. I could have not had it hooked up long enough, but I'm gonna let it stay like this for probably like 2 hours, and I'm gonna check it and see. Excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. But I'm gonna check it probably about 2 hours, and I'm gonna see if it's still at the same voltage. If it's still at the same voltage, that would mean that plug fixed the alternator. And yeah, the wiring looks a little bit more cleaner. It's not great, but I didn't make any new wires or cut anything. I just made the delete box, and then I ran the wires, routed them the best I could. So It is what it is until I start remaking wires. As of right now, this is gonna have to work. So like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned in. Hope y'all like the battery delete box. I didn't have one in here before. I ain't even gonna lie. Before it was ghetto, I just had I had all the ground terminals on a bolt, and I had it all taped up or whatever, so it couldn't touch anything. And then I had the positive terminal taped up so it couldn't touch anything. And there was just nothing in this hole. So hopefully this is definitely an upgrade from that. And as far as my fuse holder, I just had a homemade one, and it was screwed to the side of that plastic there, and half of the bolts that held the fuses in place were all stripped out, so it was hard to tighten them, and it was hard. They were a little bit closer spaced, so it was hard to change fuses. Now, as you can see, I got a good little bit of space between them, and they're all evenly spaced, so it shouldn't be as hard or too hard to change the fuses. So I'm considering that a win. I know this plexiglass piece right here ain't perfect, but it was a piece of scrap that was just laying on the floor that I cut out with a jigsaw and put a piece of vinyl on it. I didn't realize it had those scratches right there on it until I peeled all the plastic off, and it was already made then, so it is what it is. I might scratch the whole other side to give it that frost look on this side. I'm really not worried about it, really not concerned. It really doesn't matter. So it is what it is. Like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned in. I hope y'all like the battery box or the battery delete box. Let's get it.